Okay, Steve, we're back to do the final version of this cover, starting by looking at the new template you supplied. So you'll see down here, the width of the spine is 12 millimeters or 0.489 inches. So I'm going to get that out of the way. Back here in InDesign, I'm going to go to the layout menu, margins and columns. You'll see that I've got two columns with a gutter of 0.489. So now when you look at the entire width of the actual document, going on down to document setup, you'll see that it's 11.489. So I've done this in advance. The other thing I've done is I have sampled the color from the right and left sides of the back cover. That is these two values down at the bottom. I've created swatches for them. Then also for the spine, which you don't see here, I did something similar. And so these two colors are the top and bottom of the spine. Now, if I go to the layers panel here, I've got an FPO. And what I've done is on that layer, I put the back cover that you supplied, the one that I have to reproduce. The front cover is on the main artwork layer because I don't have any issues with that. Okay? So, what I'm going to do first is right here, I'm going to go to the effects menu and I'm going to shade that down by 50% just because I want it to be useful just for helping me place things and no other reason. Okay, now this artwork isn't really positioned where I want it, so what I'll do is I'll move it so that I have it roughly centered. For the moment, we'll have to put in the barcode that came with the template, and we have to reproduce all of this. Okay, so that's our next step. So I'm going to hide the FPO for a moment. I'm going to drag out a box on the artwork level that represents the back cover without the bleed, just coming up to and hitting the spine. Okay, then I'm gonna drag it out to the position, to the edges for the bleed. Now, what I want to do next is I want to create a gradient. So I'm going to go up to the window menu, the color, the gradient. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be a linear gradient, and you can see it goes from left to right. The black is on the far right, and there's kind of a gray, the extreme left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the colors. So for the back cover, the really dark part is right here. Then the light part is here. And okay, have to do it again. See, you drop these color swatches onto the color pots. And there you go. You now have the gradient that you originally had. So that's good. And So what's next? Okay, I'm going to bring up the for position only layer and hide the artwork for a moment. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to cut it, copy it. I'm going to go back up to the artwork layer. And I'm going to paste it in front because I want to use the template to position some items, particularly the photo. Then I'll create some other boxes to represent the text boxes that I'm going to need to give them a relative position on the screen. There's that. And I'll just make one box for the main heading and the subhead. Okay? Then what I'll do is I will delete this. So you can see all these things are there. So let's start with the photo. I'm going to place I exported this from Click Designs. So there you go right there. So choosing the white selection tool. And if I want, I can oops, going in too far here. So that's pretty nicely positioned. So you got the photo. All right. Now I'm going to deal with this here. So I'm going to pick a font. I'm going to type in some words. And I'm going to click on small caps, 'cause that's the way you did it. Wait for all that to populate. It's acting a bit slow. All right. So we're going to highlight that. I'm going to create a I'll call it black, but I'll give it a, let's say a 60% tint. And we're going to pick a font. Scroll down, see if I see anything interesting. Looks like I forgot to capitalize the word gate. Let's try this guy here. big, so I'll bring it back. Okay. We might have to choose a different font later, but we want to get stuff in there. Then it looks like a very simple font underneath. And so we'll just choose Arial. Arial regular. And we'll go with 12 point. See how that works. Okay, so I've added in second line of type. So I'm happy with that part of it. So I'll just pull up the box. Now here, we have some more typing to do. Okay, so I've added in the type that's just above the photograph. That looks good. Okay, so I've laid in the text that goes below the photograph. So now what we have to do, you have to go in and take a look at where do we put the barcode. So I've drawn out a new box on a new layer called template/barcode. I'm going to bring in the new template that you got. And I will position it where it needs to go. At least close enough so that everything finds its place. I'm just trying to see where the edges of the blue are. Doesn't have to be exact, but close enough. So this is where the barcode is supposed to go according to them. So what I'll do, what I'll do is just grab the box for this and bring it in like so. And then we'll just zoom in a bit. Okay, so now there's no pink visible. Now, there is an option called text wrap. And I will just search for that. There it is there. And okay, so what I've done here is I've taken this barcode out of the separate layer and placed it on top of the text within the same layer called artwork. So now with both this and this selected, come on, I'm going to choose this. That will wrap it around the bounding box. Now let's just zoom out a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to bring this up again. Command T brings it up. Now we want a little bit more to the left, so let's click that, and that makes it work a little better. Okay, so now we've got everything there. So the last thing we need to do, and let's zoom in here because it looks like we've gone out of position on this. This guy actually needs to come up a bit. There we go. There we go. Now, the question is, do we just put the rest of the information down at the bottom? I think we can get away with that. So now I've added in the 2 lines and the website at the bottom. See if that's acceptable, but that means we're finished the back cover. We're good for the back cover. Okay, so I've got a new file here created just for the spine. It's the right size plus some bleed. So I'll just create that, and then we we'll color gradient, which is right here. Put in a gradient. Then we'll bring in the values that we want. Nope. Undo that. Undo that. And I'll make the angle 180. So the dark pot, whoops. Drag over here. Just have to draw out the box again because we lost it, and apply the gradient and just change the angle to 180. So there's the top on the left, bottom on the right. Now I'm going to put some type in here. I'm going to center it. Go to Object, Text Frame Options, Tell that we want to align it to the center. So now the text is exactly in the center. Now, we have to go in and look at the spine. Heaven's Gate Chronicles, Mary Magdalene, Steve Taylor. All right. So go in here. Okay, we'll pick a font. Okay, so I put the type in for the spine. I'm going to save that as spine. Then I'm going to create a spine. And we're going to go to the bleeds and use the bleeds as I created for the file. And away we go. Actually, I want to do it without crops. I don't want the crops getting in the way. So we'll make sure that we turn off all the marks. Just keep the bleed. Okay, we're back into the main layout for the cover. So we're going to go File to Place. Look for our spine file. So we just click it. We will do a rotation. Slip it into position. What I can do is go to my scripts, utilities, scripts, and samples, JavaScript, align to page. We can say center. Oh, that's interesting. All right, well, we'll still move it over here. And then we will arrange it, send to the back. Okay, now if I go and choose a preview with the bleed, that's what we get. That's the final result. So what I will do is I will export this. High res with crops and bleeds. It's called cover 2. Marks to be like that. And we want crops. So we export. Okay, it says there's overset text. Probably here. Probably just some extra line, empty line stuff. So we'll just delete. And we'll do all that. And drag it. Cover 2. Export. Okay. Point is, it all looks right, so Not worried about it. Okay. Save the file. I'm going to go in, try and open the book printer and convert. Okay, I don't think I have to give them that. So I'm going to just leave it at that. And that's it. Didn't take long.